this fucking recording? Yeah, I think so. Right. Doing a bit of work on the car today. We've got a slight technical issue. We haven't had reverse for the last couple of weeks. Ever since I started opening it up a bit, there's been a bit of a heat issue regarding melting the reverse cable. Annoyingly, it's like a plastic lined cable, so it's like a plastic sheath over the cable and inside the steel. I think it's to make like self-lubricating stuff, but the issue is it melts like a bitch and then goes solid. So I thought I'd try and get it repaired. You have to come up with something a little bit imaginative, because pretty much that's what goes in the transmission, and that's where it touches the manifold, and it also touches the manifold in a few other places. So what I'm thinking is sack off the sheath, some sort of little roller system, and have bare wire coming out the front of the transmission, straight across the gearbox, because obviously that won't melt, and then have electric boot release solenoid yanking on it, so it's all just bare wire until this, but this is well away from the manifold, and then just have a button on the end somewhere instead of the pull-up collar. That's today's little project. As you can see, the supercharger has actually gone for the time being. Basically, Rick pretty much decided that with the modern day VNT that's sat over there, it really just isn't necessary anymore. That thing is so lively, it's just like spools up pretty much straight away. So you just don't need it anymore. Compared to the XUD, it's got a huge amount more compression, and it tends to run, once it's warmed up, it tends to run fairly okay without it. So we're going to have a bit of a rearrange with the boost hoses later just to try and tidy it up a bit, as we're taking the long way around at the moment. And Chris looks like he's mounting some lights. Standard issue for Chris. Okay, I got the little electromagnet solenoid mounted there now. Just a little bracket I've got off the side. Cables joined in. I haven't tidied it up yet, but it seems to be working, so I'm just going to run some cables now. And hopefully that will mean that I'll have reverse on a more reliable manner. I mean, it's solid cable basically from there back, so it's not an ideal solution, but it should work. Okay, we're just doing a spot of wiring. When I rebuilt the car back along, I ran a multi-core cable from me behind the dash up to the front wing here via the wheel arch. So I'm just connecting into one of those. I've actually relayed it in the engine bay. Obviously that's not mounted or anything yet, but that one's going to run that. And then it's just a case of mounting the switch inside, and it should be working. Right, so we were combining yesterday. I don't think we're going to be today, if I'm honest. Fucking weather. Right, we're going for the official test.
Fire out.
Fire out, go on. Oh.
Is it working?
Oh yeah.
Let me try putting it in gear. That's without. Oh, it works, I think. She won't go in, but she's a bit tight. There she is. Oh. Button in. Reverse. Oh, that's just
that. I think we need to change the. I think we need to change the gear lever now.
Just to show James the OEM installation. Look at this, look. Oh. Tidy, no wires hanging out, James. It's all just hidden away.
Those.
Yeah, I'd ignore those. Oh, that's ideal. That is, we've got reversed again. That is going to be really handy over the next couple of weeks.
Ah, right. Okay, that reverse project's all finished now. We're just embarking on rerouting the boost hoses. Pretty much sacking off the sequential setup to go for a big compound setup, pretty much the same as I had on my XUD. Okay, I've totally forgotten what I was saying, because I just got a fucking earful of fucking air out of the line by Chris there. Yeah, so we've gone for a compound setup now. Basically the twin turbos rather than turbo and supercharger. The VNT is probably going to get upsized. It's a little bit small really for a compound setup like that, but it'll do the job for a minute. So that's basically how that's setting. We're going to rerouting the boost hoses because it was kind of crisscrossing, so we're just going to do a more direct route. We've also noticed a very large amount of, well, space has just appeared now at the front of the engine, which, well, it's put an idea in my head, but right, okay, we've got the front ender off now. I've got the oil cooler off. purely because I've never been happy with it being where it's till on the front end. It like pushes the front bumper out and just looks generically awful. So I'm hoping to try and squeeze it in behind the intercooler, between the intercooler and the radiator, which is currently occupied by fans. But I'm thinking now that I've got oh crap, blocking the light, a substantial amount more room up the front here, that I might be able to possibly put a sucker on the back and get rid of one of the front fans and put the oil cooler in there, which should look better and protect the oil cooler and just be better overall really. And the bumper might actually fit back on the car again for the first time in about 12 months. Other than that, we got the boost pipes all hooked back up again now via the 2 turbos down the right hand side through the front end of the car and then up through. It's all a bit dirty, but ignore that. You have to make up a better flange for here because it hits the bonnet at the moment, so I want it to be facing down a bit. Well, I say it hits the bonnet, it literally vibrates just very slightly against the bonnet, which annoys me. Right, we've got the oil cooler mounted there in replacement of that fan that's up there. Used to be on the left there, so we put the oil cooler there now. And routed the hoses back through. Now I'm going to put the intercooler back in position.